Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're tackling a question that might seem a bit niche, but is, well, surprisingly critical for hard tech startups.
Yeah, it's about industrial gas supply.
Exactly. When should you really make that a priority? Because we know, especially if you're in those early stages, every single penny counts.
Oh, absolutely. You're trying to stretch resources, make that runway last as long as possible.
You're renting used gear, maybe repurposing things, bootstrapping, basically.
What the standard playbook, right?
Yeah.
Smart resource allocation, finding creative ways to get things done without breaking the bank.
But, and this is the key thing, there's one area where that kind of corner cutting can really bite you.
And that's industrial gases.
Precisely. It's not like, getting a slightly older oscilloscope where maybe the calibration is a bit off. This can have much bigger consequences.
Yeah, the consistency and, frankly, the purity of your industrial gas. It's just fundamental. If that varies, your process results go all over the place.
Yeah, they can totally derail your development. We've actually heard some stories, sort of cautionary tales.
Right. Like, think about a startup that's maybe working on a really sensitive process. New materials, additive manufacturing, something like that. Well, in one case we heard about the gas wasn't quite the right grade, maybe some impurities. It led to contamination in their system. And the upshot was their main test line was down, completely shut down for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Wow. In startup time, that's an eternity.
Exactly. Think about the cost of that downtime. The lost momentum, the salaries, the missed milestones, it massively outweighs any initial savings on the gas itself, doesn't it?
It really does. Puts it in perspective. So, okay, for the listeners, for that startup founder trying to make these calls,
Yeah.
what's the signal? When is the moment you need to get serious about gas supply?
It's pretty clear, actually. The moment you start needing consistent process results, repeatable outcomes, in the very, very early R&D, maybe just exploring ideas, you might have some wiggle room. But as soon as you're trying to nail down a process, get reliable data, run pilot tests,
Then consistency becomes non-negotiable.
that's the turning point. You need a supplier you can trust, a serious partner.
And it's more than just the gas itself being pure, right? It's also about the supplier relationship.
Absolutely. It's also about reliability and responsiveness. Startups move fast, things change. You might suddenly need a delivery tomorrow or even after hours.
Right. You can't afford to wait a week for a delivery.
No way. A good supplier understands that pace. They might offer, same-day delivery, proactive inventory checks so you don't run out unexpectedly. They help you avoid getting stuck.
That kind of support sounds like a huge advantage. Avoiding those moments where everything just grinds to a halt because you're waiting on a cylinder.
It's a game changer sometimes. It prevents delays and keeps the momentum going.
So the big takeaway here seems to be, once process consistency is critical for your development, industrial gas isn't just some commodity you can source from anywhere.
Precisely. Don't treat it as an afterthought at that stage. You really have to weigh the risks.
The risk of downtime, inconsistent results, delays.
Against the benefit of a solid, reliable supply partner. It becomes a strategic decision, really, not just an operational one. It impacts your speed, your validation, your overall success.
Okay, so a final thought for you, the listener, as you're maybe figuring this out for your own venture. Really consider those hidden costs, the potential setbacks from an unreliable gas supply versus the strategic edge you get from a dependable partnership.
Yeah, it's not just about the upfront costs. It's about safeguarding your core process, your technology, especially as you scale.
Food for thought. Thanks for that insight.